Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world calls God. Yahushua being the name of his beloved Son, who the world inwardly calls Jesus. It's the brother Yair Dada, WFI Indiana. Can't coming at y'all with a quick cold cut through the spirit. Right? Just going into a continuation of the last video, but just getting another point, you understand, outside of what we touched on in the last video, which was how Maccabees dealt with instruction, and how he took instruction and applied the things like the law, statutes, and commandments, and other different things. Now we're going to get an example of Judas doing much of the same thing. But also we also going to see where he drew his strength from. All right, where he drew his strength from, because Judas, Maccabees, one of the mightiest brothers in the scriptures. It's a lot of mighty forefathers. All our righteous forefathers and foremothers was mighty. You understand? But for Judas to be able to do what he did, leading men, fighting battles, and like I just said, leading, the ability to be able to lead and encourage men to continue to go on and push forward. That's a beautiful trait to have, right? So we're going to dive in. We're going to get a couple precepts, right, and establish the matter, right? So first, we're going to kick it off with the book of Romans, chapter 15. All right, this is the book of Romans, chapter 15, and verse 4. It says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope." You understand? So these things that's written is written for our learning. It's written for us to be able to take from and to hold nigh unto us, to be able to use. All right, it's not just to be able to say, oh, yeah, I know that account, or oh, yeah, I know that, or yeah, I heard that, or I read that. No, apply it, use it to your advantage. Learn from the mistakes that our forefathers made. Learn, you understand, from the righteous acts that they did, and understand how that was pleasing in the sight of the Lord, and try to follow in those same things. All right, there's many different ways and things to be able to call from and learn from in these last days pertaining to the scriptures. All right, so let's dive right into it. All right, let's go to the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2. We're gonna get right to the we're gonna start at 51, and we're gonna jump. All right, it's the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, and verse 51. It says, now this is what Maccabees is telling his children. All right, Judas and his brothers. It says, "Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time, so shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name." So when you read this simple thing right here where it says, "Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time," then he proceeds to say, "So shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name." Why would he tell them to remember the acts of their forefathers? Remember those different things. Let's read on. All right, verse 52, it says, "Was not Abraham found faithful?" Was not Abraham found faithful in intonation, right? And it was imputed unto him for righteousness. Joseph in the time of his distress kept the commandment and was made Lord of Egypt. Phineas, our father, in being zealous and fervent, obtained a covenant of an everlasting priesthood. Jesus, talking about Joshua, right, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel. Caleb, for bearing witness, Caleb for bearing witness before the congregation, received an inheritance, a heritage of the land. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom. And you continue reading on, it continues to go on throughout our mighty forefathers and the things that and the acts that they did. Not only is it talking about individually the things that our forefathers brought forth, but also the things that the Most High God did for us as a people, the situations that he's gotten us out of as a people and a nation. All right, and you're going to see Judas using these same things that his father told him to remember and to call back on in the time of trouble. All right, let's go to, let's stay in First Maccabees and let's go to chapter 4. All right, it's the book of First Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 7. It says, And they saw the camp of the heathen, and that it was strong and well harnessed, and compassed about, so like it compassed round about with horsemen, and these were expert of war. Then said Judas to the men that were with him, fear ye not their multitude, neither be ye afraid of their assault. Remember how our fathers were delivered in the Red Sea when Pharaoh pursued them with an army. So first thing he told his men, told them, be not afraid. And then what did he say? He said, remember. And what did he bring up? A mighty act of our forefathers. And more importantly, how the Most High God has delivered us out of situations as these before. That's Judas, you understand, taken from what his father gave to him. And not only what his father gave to him, but what he's seen his father do as well. And do what? And applying it. And using it for the benefit of not only himself, but the benefit of those around him, to strengthen those around him, to be able to, hey, let the will of the Father be done. All right. And fight for the covenant, right, of their fathers. It says, now therefore let us cry unto heaven, if peradventure the Lord will have mercy on us, and remember the covenant of our fathers, and destroy this host before our face this day. So all the heathen may know that there is one who delivereth and saveth Israel. Right? So he called, you understand, to remembrance the acts of his forefathers and the Most High God. All right. And he also, what also did he do? He comforted those that was around him. Get this real quick. Brought this out plenty of times before, but this is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 3. It says, blessed be God, even the Father of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, the Father of mercies, and the God of all comfort, who comforteth us in all our tribulation, that we may be able to comfort them which are in any trouble by the comfort wherewith we ourselves are comforted of God. So what did David do? Or so like it, what did Judas do? He was comforted, you understand, by the Most High God, in remembering, you understand, the acts and relying on the things that the Most High God has done for us in the past. Through that, he used that same thing to strengthen those that were around him as well, his brethren, to go to war, and brought these things back into remembrance. Like, look, this ain't the first go around, man. All we got to do is put our trust in the Most High God. All right, and reminding them of these acts, like, hey, remember when the Most High did this, A, B, and C, D, etc., etc., etc. That's a beautiful trait to have. It's a beautiful trait to be able to, and that's something that we all have to, if you don't have it, or if you don't use it, to develop, you understand? And if you're not using it enough, or if you do use it, hey, use it more. That in the time of trouble, looking back on the things that the Lord has done for his people in times past, and understand that nothing is too hard for the Lord, man. And understanding that everything is in control of the Most High God. And it doesn't even have to always be the things that, like what he did with us in Egypt and going back to the Maccabees. It could be things that he's already done before in your life. All right. Things that he's the jams. You done been jammed up financially, or whether you've been jammed up health wise, and he's delivered you out of those different things. You got to think back upon those things and say, you know what? Hey, I ain't even going, it's all in the hands of the Lord. The Lord has delivered me out of A, B, and C before. I got faith, right, and comfort in the fact that he'll do it again if it be his will, man. All right. We just got to make sure we doing our part, which is uplifting, magnifying the name of the Most High God, and keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. All right. And let everything else take care of itself. All right. So it's a beautiful thing, right, to be able to do. And you see he's drawing his strength from these different things. He's drawing his strength from where? From the Most High. Just like many of our forefathers did. All right, our forefathers, they gathered strength from the Most High. Moses, where do you think Moses' strength came from? Moses' strength came from the Most High. Joshua, his strength came from the Most High. Right? David, his strength came from the Most High. All right, all our forefathers and foremothers, their strength came from the Most High. When Judas did, when Judith did what she did. She gathered that strength and that courage from the Most High. When Esther did what she did and went into the king's palace, knowing that she wasn't supposed to do what she did and approach the king the way that she did. Guess what? She drew that strength and that courage from the Most High God. Right? They even went on a fast, showing you that she's gathering that strength from the Most High, that courage from the Most High. All right, let's get this real quick. In First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 17, it says, "Who, when they saw the host coming to meet them, said unto Judas, how shall we be able, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude, and so strong, seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all this day? Unto whom Judas answered, It is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few. And with the God of heaven, it is all one to deliver with a great multitude or a small company." It says, "For the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of an host, but strength cometh from heaven." Said, but strength cometh from heaven. What is that talking about? Is that talking about the stars and the moon and the sun? No, what is that talking about? It's talking about the Most High God. All right? That's where that strength comes from. That's where, hey, who wins, who loses, that's where that comes from. It all comes from the Lord. It's all in the balance of the Most High God. All right? His will is the one that's going to be done. All right? It says, reading on in that, verse 20, it says, "They come against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us and our wives and children and to spoil us. But we fight for our lives and our laws." It says, "Wherefore the Lord himself will overthrow them before our face. And as for you, be not afraid of them," man. All right. And that's how we that's how we have to walk in this truth. When we battling against these spirits, all right, you got to have courage. You got to have faith. Right? And you got to draw your strength from the Most High God, like our forefathers did. On the physical level, when they was going to war, yeah, they drew their strength from the Most High God. But also on the spiritual level, when you fighting these demons and you fighting against these battles, you feel like you're getting jumped by all these different spirits. Guess what? You have to have courage and draw your strength from the Most High God, and strength from the Most High God to be able to propel and press forward and defeat these different things and overcome these things that's trying to plague you. All right? All our forefathers did it, man. Our righteous forefathers and foremothers did it. Yahweh Shah did it. He had to draw his strength from the Most High God. And what did the Most High God do in Luke chapter 22 and 46 on down? He sent his angels down to do what? To strengthen them, to be able to prevail and get through the things that he had to get through. And that's what we all got to take into account for ourselves as well. So Lord willing, brothers and sisters, edified. All right, Lord willing, brothers and sisters, is having a mighty feast of dedication. Kwam Yashala. Shalom.